Well, hello, everyone. Welcome back to Careers, Chaos, and Coaching. It's great to have you here and here with the amazing Melissa Houston. We're excited about this topic today, and we're looking forward to having you us join this conversation. It's already great to see Aaron and Jay and Jackie in the chat. Good morning, and Kenny. Great to see you. Um, is stress? Oh, okay, I thought you said stress is delectably, scrumptiously, deliciously edible, tasty good, but you said it's not. I'm glad you said that. But we are excited to be here today. Let us know if you're watching live or team replay. And go ahead, if you're watching live, reshare the room to your network so they know that we're going on live. This show is an hour long, and we will be inviting you up on stage around the 20 to half hour mark. So let's keep the engagement going. But Miss Houston, how are you doing today on this beautiful Sunday? Well, I hope it's beautiful where you are. It's nice here on the East Coast. How is it on the West Coast?
Listen, it's not too bad. Last night we had a solar storm. I caught a little bit of the hints of the colors in the clouds, but it was a lot of clouds, so I didn't stay up too late. But there might be another aurora storm tonight, so I'm excited for that. I am so rested. I don't know if you guys know, but I just came through like our busiest sale of the year at my day job, and then yesterday I was off Felipe after the show, so I took a glorious nap. I went to my favorite place on earth currently, which is Costco. I am stocked up with great snacks for today because I do the show with you, and then I have Emotional Women tonight, so I'm excited. It's going to be a good day.
Well, I'm glad that you're all well rested, and I look forward to your show tonight. It's great to see Adrian. Thank you for joining us, and Ari, gracias por venir, Ari. And as far as me, I'm not quite as well rested as you, Houston. I'm a little bit more tired. So if my voice doesn't sound as energetic as normal, we celebrated my son's graduation from college yesterday with the family at the home, and we started off with a nice, afternoon barbecue after the thunderstorms. Thank God the sun came out. It was nice, and we had a wonderful, wonderful group of friends and family. Out of town family came, enjoying it, and then all of a sudden my son's like, we need a fire. It's getting a little chilly. I'm like, okay, well, it did get down to the 60s and 50s last night, so I was like, all right, build a fire. And then they're like, the NBA finals are on, can we watch it outside? And so next thing you know, I'm putting out the projector, and I have it in the back tent, so we have the NBA finals by the fire pit. And then we're like, we need some more food. And it's like 8:30 now. I'm like, all right, I thought this was an afternoon party, but it's going on. And so we're ordering food, and they're watching the game, fire pit's going on. And then my wonderful sister-in-law gave my two kids graduation gifts that she'd been holding on to. And they were both sweatshirts from my brother-in-law who had passed when he was 35. And they were Ravens sweatshirts that my son always wanted. This one sweatshirt he had, and it was a Ravens one. And my daughter, who was a Ravens fan, got the other one, and she was in tears. And then that turned into karaoke until 2 a.m. So that has been a full-fledged day of family fun, excitement, singing, basketball, which I'm not a huge fan of basketball, I'll be honest. I like football and baseball better. But yeah, so that's why I'm a little bit tired, but it's great to see Nick.
Listen, that sounds like a fantastic time. A little bit of work, but fantastic. And also, I'm shocked to hear you're not a big basketball fan, because that's something that I really can get into, especially if I'm in the space where it's happening live.
I can get into the Final Four of college basketball. I enjoy watching that because I used to watch a little bit of college basketball when I was younger, but basketball, I have a negative association because everyone in my family thought I had to play basketball because I was so tall. And it took them a while to realize I'm not tall. You're all just that short. Okay. So, and my brother tried to coach me on a team one time. It didn't work out so well. Let's just say the brotherly love wasn't there.
Felipe, can I also just tell you, we have this weird eyeball connection thing going where our eyeballs are Venn diagramming on the screen in the weirdest way. Do you want to maybe change the way we look on the screen right now?
Is it triggering you somehow, Houston?
It's a little weird to have both of us looking at me through the same eyeball. Do you see it, guys? Have you seen this display? I see the video kind of paused still on the screen where we're frozen over each other. It's kind of hilarious.
I don't understand. I'm moving the screen around right now. What are you talking about?
I know. Listen, I might have to take a picture and show you. Oh, there. Now it's just the video showing. Paused. Oh,
That's not the video. Oh wait. Oh, I see. Okay, there. Is that better? That's the thumbnail.
But yeah, we're frozen together. Like there's Copper, there's you, there's me. We're all frozen
Oh,
on the
I'm not
screen.
seeing
Guys,
that
am I the
now.
only one seeing that?
In the chat.
Hey, take the video and like change the background image or something, because I think the video is still up on the screen with us, frozen in time.
So I'm just looking on the.
Oh, now it's just the video showing.
All right, so I hear you, but I'm looking on my. So tell us in the chat if you all see it, because I don't see it on my cell phone. I think it's just your screen, Houston. Take a screenshot though. Oh. All right, let me try this here. Let me try.
That's it. That's better. That's great.
No, but
guys, I saw it. Somebody else says looks awesome. So I sent you the picture. Check your cell phone now. You should be getting it, but you'll see what I see. It was like we were Venn diagrammed on each other on the screen in my frame.
Oh, that's freaky.
It was, and you're like, is it triggering you? A little bit, brother. We're a little too aligned here.
That it's kind of cool, freaky. I kind of like it actually, but yeah. Oh,
don't do that.
What do you mean by the eye? Oh, that is so. Yeah, I did not see that. Okay.
Guys, I'm going to drop it on the thread too. Let's get focused again. I am totally going to put it in the comments though to bring you into the conversation. If you're listening on another platform beyond LinkedIn, you should go over to LinkedIn and find it, because I'm not going to YouTube to post it. So there's that. But I am going to show them in the comments, and I'll be quiet so you can promo the show. Open it up. Let's get started on this thing.
Well, let's get started. Well, welcome everyone. Thank you again, Dr. Valentino. Thank you for coming. LinkedIn user. I don't know. So whoever said looks awesome. I'm showing you the comment real quick. Oh wait. Oh, it is Dr. Valentino. Okay. Oh wait, this one here. Whoever said that, you're coming up as LinkedIn user. Let us know who you are. But Adi, thank you for letting us know. Lisa, it's great to see you. Jay and Gregory, good morning. Yes, you do hear some birds chirping. I'm not outside today, but I do have the window open because it's such a beautiful morning here today. But listen, we are here today to talk about really just going from stress to strategic. Taking control of your career and really not letting stress stop you from moving forward. And there's a lot about this that we could cover, and we're not going to cover all of it in 1 hour. So as you hear some of the topics that we share, and you come up and share your experiences and questions, let us know if this is a topic you think we can need to continue, because this could go into a series of 2 or 3 episodes, possibly. You never know. And as always, let us know if you have any topic suggestions, and don't forget to let us know where you're watching from, and if you're watching Team Live or Team Replay. And Habib, welcome to the room. Great to see you. All right, so move forward with this. This topic here, I wanted to start off real quick with just a very quick Flip-Based 5, nothing too deep or anything here, but just 5 powerful shifts here real quick. One, we all have stress in the work life. We all have stress at home. We all have stress that happens unexpectedly. So these are very high level things that we'll dive into. I just wanted to start off the conversation with a high level thing to think about is when we hit stress, first thing is pause the process. We need to process it. You don't always have to push through everything, because if you push through, sometimes you're just burying it, underneath, and you're not addressing it. So take time to process the stress and find out what's really causing it. 2, reconnecting with your purpose is always a helpful thing to do, not just when you're stressed, in general. So, but making sure that you remember what's the reason you're doing this, and remember that if it's for a great cause or an important cause or for a loved one or because it's part of your life goal or mission, then let that take some of that stress off, because there's a reason and a purpose that matters. Number 3, prioritize progress over perfection. We are never going to have constant perfection. That is just not realistic right now. It's not something that you are going to achieve on a consistent basis. So prioritize progress and learning and growing from anything that you have done so that you can continue to improve. So I think it should be prioritize progress and continuous improvement versus a perfection. And number 4, lean into connections. Don't try to do it by yourself. I'm going to say no offense to anyone that calls themselves a solopreneur. I'm not trying to give you a dig. What I'm trying to say is that I don't know if that's necessarily the best name. I think entrepreneur covers solopreneurs because the reality is a solopreneur is still going to rely on some other resources out there to help them with their business. There are certain things that they're going to end up outsourcing or paying someone else to do because they need some help in certain areas. So you're not alone. Lean into those connections, lean into help from your community, from your friends, or outsource it and pay money for the right ones, but do your research. And then 5, coping tools in your career tool belt. So all this stuff here in your career, in your life, whether you're working in a corporate world, nonprofit, you're an entrepreneur, you're going to have stress, and you don't want the stress to prevent you from progressing in your career, whether it's preventing you from yourself moving forward or it's making you look bad so that you can't move forward when opportunities arise. So having tools in your tool belt that are customized to you. We all are unique. Okay, remember that. So my tool belt is going to be very different than your tool belt. Okay, and at the end of the day, you're going to have different pouches in that tool belt. So one might be for mental health, might be tools for your physical health. One might be how to process when you get stressed out and overwhelmed. For some people, it might be when you have an anxiety attack, a panic attack. What is your tool to help you process that? If you don't have one, there's tools out there. You all free tools and things that you can learn to do to help you. You have to learn these things. So this was a very high level. This was it. I didn't want to go into any much more because I want to give more real life examples of what happens in the workplace. And I think that's really what you all come from. But I wanted to highlight these things because these are things in the back of your head that I want you all to continue to remember as you deal with stress. So Houston, before we get into some real life examples and some solutions, what are your thoughts about any of these 5 things if you wanted to share anything?
Oh, do you just want me to respond to your 5 or can I share my own?
No, and then go into your 5, then go to yours.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I was like, no, I mean, I like your tips. I really do.
Only talk about my stuff, not about your stuff, Houston.
I was just making sure. I want to be supportive, but also I want to make sure I'm following where you're producing. So
that's why I said if you have any thoughts, share, but if not, go into yours.
Hi. Okay. So what I like about it is they're quick. Can you put them back on the board, please? For me, since you wanted me to cover them. I like these, right? My version of this is stop, drop, and roll. Really, like that's the first thing that came to mind. You just have to stop. And not even pause, but just stop full and give it a time frame. I genuinely love this idea, but you've got to put some space between it. I need a 10-minute break. I need to sleep on it for 24 hours because I'm a manager and that's what I'm supposed to do when I'm angry and I'm not supposed to respond to my team if I'm upset. I need to wait 30 days to reassess my financial situation. I need to wait a year before I open a new brand, the offer thing, right? And so make sure you're putting some timeline behind there. Reconnecting with your purpose, that is important, right? Move into the passion, move away from doesn't serve you. I've never strive for perfection. You guys have heard me. I don't know one perfect person. So if I'm trying to be perfect, knowing there is nobody else out there that's perfect, it's kind of a lost cause. Just kind of keep moving, right? And really where I want to pause is that I always say to assess before you apply a solution, right? You don't want to do surgery on a leg when all you needed was a Band-Aid. Oh, there's a cut on your knee. Let's cut it off. No, let's get a Band-Aid. And if that Band-Aid doesn't work, let's get a bigger Band-Aid. And if that doesn't work, let's get a compression kit. And if that doesn't work, maybe we can look at some stitches, right? Before we just start chopping off more appendages. And that's part of what I'm seeing in the world today, if I'm being honest, is people go into surgery when all they needed was to do a little bit of healing, right? And so be careful on how quickly you move or how quickly you cut. And then the other thing I would say is genuinely just small days, small bites. I was just sharing with Felipe, and I shared it on the show on Saturday, that my boss came in, and while we're in the mid-year of 2025, right? It's June. We're in the last quarter now of our year fiscally at work. And we were looking over some numbers and just assessing after this huge promo push that we did this week. And, you know, that big, terrible T word that's affecting a lot of people who import and export, it's having a ripple, and we're trying to figure things out. And what is that going to look like for us, especially since I'm right at the border, guys? 30% of my business comes from our neighbors, Canada. And so I'm looking at it, and at that time, my boss is sitting there. They send out an update. Hey, this is our winner's circle. This is where the district managers, the store managers, and the salespeople stand nationwide. And I found out that I'm number 4th in the nation for store manager of the year, based on just performing day-to-day stuff at work. And it wasn't because I was aiming for that. I forgot it existed, to be honest. When it came out, I was like, oh, hey, I think I remember my boss was number 2 on the list last year. Let's look where he is. So that was my first inkling to go look. When I looked at store managers, I had no expectation to see my name there. And it's not because I don't believe in myself. It's just because I forgot it existed, right? So why would I think I'd be there when I hadn't been focusing?
Can we pause? Round of applause for Houston for being number 4 in the nation. That's pretty impressive right there. I just want to take a moment to recognize you for that, because that is something that it's not like, okay, I'm number 4 out of 4 stores. No, out of the nation. Okay, so it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it is. And to be honest with you, Felipe, the crazy part, and this is the stress part of the job that actually leads to this moment. Like I was so stressed out coming into this industry in a way because I don't ride a motorcycle. I am surrounded by people who do. My husband has one. My father-in-law works in a shop and has tinkered his whole life as a mechanic. He's worked for the big HD company. He knows all of their stuff. He could build one from the ground up, and has for some really famous people, actually. And so it's not that I'm so distant from it, but the only thing I aligned with in this industry was passion. The passion of the riders, the fun of the industry, the fact that I am really good at optimizing a business on KPIs, right? Those things that we track. I can improve performance. I can coach a team. I can develop leadership. And so I focused on the things I knew. And I just did my to-do list that luckily corporate's just creating for me these days, right? That has that rest space, Felipe, I'm loving, where I'm not number 1 in the nation to have to make you guys go. I just get to perform in my small little window of Bellingham, Washington, and you get to smile at me from corporate. It's a blessing because I got to be an international bestseller twice with you guys, right? With our friends in the comments. I did that while earning 4th place, not knowing I was doing it. All I did was have fun at work and dance and play. And guys, I was stressed that they wouldn't take me because I didn't know enough about bikes. And there was some ripple there. The people who couldn't appreciate my knowledge I brought and only thought the knowledge they had was the important knowledge for the business, we didn't align and they moved on. However, those who stayed, those who bought in, became number 3 in the nation. My assistant manager is currently standing there, and she's on her way to be promoted for the 4th time in a year to a bigger store. These are things that I did naturally, doing all the stuff that Felipe and I have talked about on the show, what I've done on coffee chats, and it all comes back to slow down, assess, stop, get a plan. I was like, I need 1 year to figure it out. I'm coming into year 2, right? In September, it'll be my 2-year anniversary of being with this organization. And the first year was my stop and assess and fix, right? I had to remodel the house. I had to pull everything out, put it all back together, and I did. I cleaned it all from the ground up. When's the last time we did it in our life, guys? I don't want to just do it for this business. I do it at home. I do it with my finances. This morning, I was so excited. I installed Microsoft To Do. I haven't used this app. I know, Felipe, with your iPhone, you use the Notes app a lot, and I think tracking is important. So however you do that, that's cool. But these days, I move a lot more than I used to. I used to work at home, and I had my desk, and I just swapped planners as needed. I felt like a dealer at a card table, a magician moving the cards around as I needed to. But then when I leave the house, my journals don't come with me all the time. I don't want to shove every book in my bag like I was in high school without a locker. So I'm trying to move into technology, knowing that I'm not going to leave this role, knowing if I do leave this role in any capacity, it's going to be to go up also, right? To either a bigger store or a bigger role. Maybe we just grow where I am and it's going to double in size because we're working the things. But guys, these are things that I'm doing to improve my chaos, my stress. I anchored into the things that I knew, the fun, the passion, the things I did well. And I asked for help where I wasn't strong. And they helped and it worked. And that's where we're starting the show, Felipe. I'm excited. What about you guys? And also thank you for all the congratulatory wishes. I will come back to you guys soon. I'm not good at multitasking because ADHD. Yay.
Welcome to everyone who's joined the room. Kenneth, my friend, you are perfect in your eyes. I do agree. And, but
leave him alone. He's the reason this show exists. Don't pick on my friend Kenny.
He said, wait a minute, I'm perfect in my eyes. And I'm agreeing with him.
Okay.
You are perfect in your eyes. I'm giving him
He's
his.
perfect in my. He's imperfectly perfect in my eyes. That's how I will state that.
I'm agreeing with his statement. He is
Okay.
perfect in
I
his
didn't read it.
eyes.
I'm sorry. I was just that's
Right.
Kenny.
All right.
He's our catalyst.
Okay, read and shush. But yes, all the congratulations to Melissa. Keep on giving her the kudos. She absolutely deserves it. William, great to see you. Lowe's, thank you. I love that it's National Animal Rights Day from the Netherlands. And let's get the show rolling. So here's
And happy Pride Day, guys. This is Pride Month, so kicking it off.
World Pride Day or World Pride Parade and everything is being celebrated here in DC. So it is World Pride all over the place right now in the DC area.
I love that we're giving space to highlight people and let them live proudly. But can I also tell you, I love that they're just going to make this month so bright and colorful. And that is so exciting.
Yeah, you and your
rainbow.
I love all the colors. I know.
Okay. Anyway. Big heart, guys.
Okay, let's get back to the show here. So anyways, so two things. One, I'm going to share the link in about 5 minutes in the chat for any of you that want to join us and share your experiences, your stories, or your questions. Okay. So we do invite you to come up. This is audio only, so we do ask you to keep your cameras off. And I love that, by the way. I love that Jay is shopping in Walmart, listening to us. So kudos to you, Jay, because you're doing it perfectly what we intended, so that people can listen to us. And if they wanted to see some of the stuff that we showed on the screen later, they can go back to it. But this was intended to be an audio event, so perfect. So real quick, I gotta share some quick stats to remind people why stress is so important. 76% of U.S. workers reported at least one symptom of mental health conditions in the past year that were actually related with chronic workplace stress, all right, as a major contributor, all right. 52% of employees say stress significantly affects their job performance. All that is from the American Psychological Association, okay? That, for any leaders listening, that's the reason why it's important. And also one other point, that employees who report high levels of stress are 3 times more likely to look for another job based on Gallup reports. So as an employer or as a leader or as an entrepreneur that has only a couple employees, realize that if you're not in tune to the stress that you're impacting on your employees, it's going to impact their health and possibly your business. And the last thing I wanted to share was, the stats, was that employees who receive professional coaching or mental health support are 21% more engaged and 2 times more likely to stay with their current employer, according to BetterUp. So that's the benefit to getting some coaching. And that's where I want 2 things I wanted to say. One was, it is your life, you're in the driver's seat. So you need to remember that the stress, you may not have control over what causes the stress, but you have control at how much you let it stay with you. There are tools out there we talked about for mental and physical stress that you can do. Exercise your mind, exercise your body. Moving your body and exercising your mind are going to help you manage stress. Using apps or lead meditation or breathing exercises. There's so much stuff out there. What I would recommend, because everyone's different, have a conversation with ChatGPT. Say, here is what I'm dealing with. What are some non-medical, non-professional solutions that I can use that are free to help me with dealing with mental stress based on this is what I like and what I'm dealing with. Let it recommend some apps or some practices or exercises that might work for you. If you need professional help with stress, Melissa and I are not doctors. We are not professional medical professionals. Seek professional help. Seek that professional medical help. Use your EAP at your employer, if they have one, to get free coaching and therapy. Use your insurance to go to the doctor and get checked out. It's important to do these things for yourself, and only you can control that. Now, real quick, I want to talk about the consequences, because here's the reality. If you don't address your stress, how is it going to impact your career? As an HR professional that's been doing this for 31 years, I've seen people deal with stress and been able to manage through it. And I've seen people who have let stress take control and affect them so badly that they had to quit or lost their job, meaning they got fired. Okay. And it's the old adage, you can't help somebody that doesn't want to help themselves. So that's why I say it starts with you. But
Felipe, I have a question. What is your favorite way to unwind? Genuinely, like I know we talk about these tips, right? But how do you put it into action?
there's four things.
Like, what did you do this week?
Okay, there's technically five things that I do that that allow me to relax. Okay, so one, I'm not gonna lie, is just sitting back and watching a good movie that is like fiction, like sci-fi, Marvel, something that takes me away from this world and lets me forget about stuff for a little bit for 2 hours. Two, going outside reading. Just reading again kind of takes you to another world. You kind of forget about stuff and let your mind rest and focus on one thing only. Number three, just being outside, just listening to the birds, being outside, getting some fresh air, getting some sunlight. Going for a walk outside is huge. Going out with Copper and taking time with Copper to play, run around. He brings me a lot of joy. I feel relaxed. I get some movement, and I when I wrestle with him or run around with him outside or take him for a walk. And number five is breathing exercises. I do breathing and my prayers every morning. So I pray every morning and I do my breathing exercises every morning, and that helps me to start off the day. Because if I ever have any anxiety anymore, it usually is in the morning first thing. And so that is my process. So that's what I deal with, how it helps me deal with stress, those five things.
I would love to ask the audience too, guys, what are your tips? Like, do you have your own? Because I think it's important not just to talk about what we're supposed to do, but how. Like, yeah, everybody tells me to do it. Okay. But how do you do it different, right? Like even ChatGPT.
Wait, hold on. So before we get to the how, that's why I wanted to share this one part, the consequences, so people listen to the how. That's why I was doing this way. Because I want you to realize I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just giving you the reality. If you don't address it, this is some consequences. So in the workplace, when you're stressed, you make more mistakes. It's going to affect your performance. Two, it affects your behavior. You're going to have an attitude and you're going to get reprimanded probably. Three, you are going to possibly call in sick more because you just don't want to deal with it, which is going to affect your attendance. And then four, all those things are going to eventually add up and you're going to get documented, written up, or possibly fired. Or you're going to suppress it so bad that you're going to need to take time off for medical reasons because your doctor told you so, that you needed it for mental health, or you've gotten so mentally stressed out that it's caused you physical harm, which people have gotten very sick physically. That's led as far as heart attacks and strokes. So I want you to realize you could lose your life, you could lose your job just from stress. I hate to be that blunt and short, but that's the reality. So that's why I want you all to listen to the hows, because that's where the important thing is. And this is why I want you all to share your hows, because your how might help save somebody else. And that's the important part of this next half hour of the show, is hearing you all share the hows and our hows. And so I shared my 5 hows that I've done in the past week. Now those 5 things I shared, I don't do every day except for the prayers and the breathing. Actually, I do add one more thing. I stretch every freaking day in the shower because I realize that the days I don't stretch, I'm more achy and I could hurt myself easier. So, but what are your top things that you do in the past week, Melissa? And I'm going to put the link right now in the chat, you all. So, Houston, over to you.
I like to start every morning with my LinkedIn games. Actually, I'm very much addicted to as soon as I wake up, I go right to the games. I want to see if my brain can do it. And what's crazy is I like to start with Zip. And I did like a 12-second win. The average was, I don't even know. I took a screenshot, but I had just woken up. It was like, hey, fire, out of bed, do this puzzle. So I'm ready for any games people sign me up for. But I also have to say, I love that my brain is like able to jump right into calculation mode. And I know that's not for everybody, but it's beautiful for me because after I get that jump start, I go into prayer. I'm usually like self-care, wash your face, whatever. But I like to go and pray and say, all right, God, what do you want to do with my day? And then really, I love to twirl baton, guys. there's batons in my house now. A little Amazon fairy dropped them off, and I used to twirl baton as a 5-year-old when my life was perfect, but finger quotes, before my mom fell into addiction. I was a little spoiled, and I would go to the Boys and Girls Club, and I was part of the Bonnie Bells, and so I twirled baton in parades and the whole thing. And these days, being old, needing to stretch and do whatever, I realized I wake up and my hands aren't always as excited to be moving as my body would like them to be. And they're just maybe a little more numb than I want them to be. And so I get up and I just start spinning the baton, and I use it to stretch, and I reach, and I use it to stretch my back and even pop my back. It's so much fun to feel like I'm a 5-year-old. I don't feel like an old lady when I'm doing it that way, but I feel like an old lady when I wake up. So getting that, knocking the dust off my body, knowing that I activate my brain first, I'm like, woohoo, I'm winning. And then my body's like, no, you're not. I'm like, yeah, we are. Let's go twirl a baton. So those small wins add up for me. The other thing is music. Kenny just said it too. Anytime I'm feeling down, I put music on. Some people, when they get stressed, they get into bed. And sometimes I like to just be in bed and watch Netflix and chill with myself, Felipe, even though it's not meaning what it is. That's what I call it, and it drives me nuts, and I love that. So I Netflix and chill with myself in the most PG way. There is nothing happening except that delicious snack I bring with me to bed is going to be devoured. It is. I'm going to eat ice cream in bed like a weirdo.
Okay, well, you said, wait, hold on. You said it was appropriate. You said chilling with myself. For y'all listening, what she used to say was she was
Netflix and chill. Yeah, Netflix and chill with myself. Yes, that's what I do. That's what I do. I don't care. Don't twist my words. Anyway,
chilling with yourself is okay.
Felipe, I'm not done. So then the other thing I gotta say,
you're not getting away with that.
You're gonna make me forget. The other thing I really like to do is my gardening, guys. Gardening and then scrubbing my house. And this is the weird thing, right? Felipe, you said breathing. I think singing my songs is my breathing technique. If you've ever been in choir or sung, with some training, you're doing deep breathing exercises by singing. So I turn mine on, and I have a singing playlist on my Spotify just to de-stress, just to belt it out, get it out. Drop it in the comments if you actually get in your car and scream along with your radio to get it out too. I don't care what it is. Tell me what song, though. If it's good, I'll add it to my list. And then the last thing I got to say this week right now is I'm plucking my eyebrows, guys. I'm doing a skin hydrating collagen rose face mask right now. I'm doing self-care while I care for you guys, which fills my cup in 2 ways. I'm going to look great when I get off the call. I'm going to feel good when I get off the call.
Now to turn on your camera.
My camera's still not activated, dude. It's still not working. You still haven't sent help. I don't want to hear it. But no, genuinely, guys, you just got to sneak it in where you can. I'm going to sit here for 2 hours. My hands are free. He's hosting. What do I got to do? I got to take care of me. So whatever you're doing, just find the time. Get creative. You can multitask if you're not using the same parts of your brain at the same time, right? So that's where I am. Guys, what do you think? And I love these comments. Can we pull some of them up?
All right. Well, we have somebody that's on the back room, but so the comments here, people are loving everything that we've shared. Let's see. People are saying video games. So Ben, I agree with you. Video games is a great way, just like it's escaping and just having fun and strategizing and really just challenging your mind to think differently. Absolutely. And Houston, I gotta say, as you were talking, I agree with the puzzles, the LinkedIn games. I do them every morning too. It's the first thing I do usually as well. And I feel the same way. I feel like, okay, my mind's already active and going. Rashida, come back up. I saw you in the back. All right. Well, hopefully she'll come back up. And then playing music, I agree with that too, especially when no one's in the house and I can blare it. That's my favorite. Or in the car, blaring it and singing out loud. And then my wife likes to have dance parties. I will admit, she does them at work, and spontaneous dance parties, and she tries to do them here. So I'll go with it when it happens. So I love these.
Do you do the same thing my husband does? My husband just stands there and kind of tilts his head to the left, and his mouth kind of opens halfway, and he's biting his tongue a little bit, and he's like, "Oh, here comes the Grey's Anatomy."
I'm spinning her around the kitchen. I'm trying to dip her. She's like, "No, you're gonna drop me." I'm like, "No, I'm not."
I'm the girl who's dancing crazy around him like we're in the club, and he's the one guy who didn't want to dance there. I'm that girl, and he married me, so I guess we're different. But it's cool. I love dance parties.
All right, real quick.
Welcome, Rashida.
Rashida, I just want to share some things that people are sharing. So Ben, you listed my 5 things. So thank you, Ben.
Isn't that nice of him? I know. It's cute.
Jackie says that stress, work stress is so much worse when there's stress in other areas of life. Absolutely. I always say if you have stress at work and it's okay at home, it helps you. You're able to deal with it better. And if you vice versa, but when there's stress in both, it's like a sandwich crunch. You're between a rock and a hard place. So it's a great point. And Sajith shared movies, books, travel, hanging out with friends, or just walking in the park. Pets have been known to help stress a lot because people give them unconditional love. Absolutely. And I love that you mentioned travel. Travel is a huge one that I know that Jackie agrees with tremendously. And number 4, thank you, Adrian, for saying number 4. And we miss your puppy too. Oh, don't talk about rabbits. I have a bad story about rabbits and Lulu. Oh, Lord. Tragic. All right. Anyways, and Meryl Cass, of course, shout out to Copper. Appreciate that. He loves going out for walks. And Lisa likes the batons. And Kenny still likes the bantering. So I'm not going to show all the comments there. I want to get to Rashida real quick. Oh, wait. Score 1 for me. All right, Kenny, I'm in the lead. Thank you.
Of course you needed that one to. Can we get to our guest, you booger?
Yes. So Rashida, thank you for being patient. It's so wonderful to see you up here. Always love that I love to see you back already on LinkedIn like you've been. It's just great to see you again. But what is your question, or your insight on this topic? Over to you.
Thank you. I appreciate this little event because people don't realize behind the scenes, when you're struggling with physical health and mental health issues, it is very hard to hold down a job. I've had, honestly, a couple jobs I had to resign from because I had to be like, wait a minute, I need to focus on my health first because it just got too much for me. And looking back now, I kick myself in the tail for that because I was like, now it's so hard to find a job, and I could have just kept the one I had and fought through the tears and the stress and managed it with some of these coping mechanisms that you guys mentioned: praying, playing games to unwind, journaling, meditation, whatever, and maybe held on to those jobs. But now I can't go back. None of us can, right? So my question is, um, how do you effectively find another good job that will hire you for your skills, even though we're getting up there in age and stuff like that? And it seems like the opportunities are few and far between. Or, like in my case, unfortunately, I was recently a victim of a job scam. So I'm kind of hesitant to get back out there. What's your advice?
Well, those are some excellent questions, Rashida. And starting off with the job scam, that's a real issue out there. It's a real risk, and I encourage people to be careful. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. If you get something that you're questioning, do your research. Look them up on LinkedIn. Look up their website. See if they have a website careers page. If you're getting texts about opportunities and you can't find, or you're having a hard time finding information, or it looks a little sketchy, people will have fake websites even to a point where it looks great, but once you start clicking on things, you realize it doesn't take you anywhere. So do your research with that. There's more good opportunities than there's bad fake ones. I will say that for a lot of people to think, oh, there's a lot of fake jobs out there posted. A lot of times, you all, these jobs are not fake jobs that are being posted because feel like, oh, they were up there and they got taken down too quickly, or no one's responding. That sometimes is that they filled it so quickly because they had someone internally, or it's just a bad recruiter that is not taking care of the openings. I'm sorry. I've had to let go of a recruiter that was letting hundreds and hundreds of candidates wait for months and months, never responding to them, never rejecting them, never doing anything except hiring the one person that we hired. So there's so many factors out there. But also what I'll say is that having that tool belt of things like now, I mean, it's what you know now that's going to help you get through the next stress point. And when you figure out what your stressors are, you got to start doing some self-evaluation. One of the things that I have shared in the past, and I'll share it right now, that has helped me get back out there when I've had self-doubt is, and I hate the word mantra, so I got to come up with another word, but it's the saying that I say to myself that helps me remember and feel better about the things that are causing me stress or doubt. And it's simple, like it goes like this. Be confident in what you know because you have experience. Be curious about what you don't know and learn about it. We have a lot of resources out there. Be grateful for what you have because you have more than others. Be compassionate about yourself because you've dealt with a lot in life, and don't beat yourself up because you probably wouldn't beat up somebody else for going through what you went through. And then 5, be tenacious as hell because you got this shit. All right. So that's what I say. And it helps me remind me that I do have skills that are valuable. I know I do because I've worked in this field. I've done this job. I know how to do these things, or I've taught myself. And then when but I don't know how to do this. We have so many resources, Google, ChatGPT, AI, that can teach us, YouTube videos. The resources are out there that I wish I had when I was growing up. So there's things out there, just you gotta believe in yourself. But Houston, what are your thoughts about Rashida's share, and what advice do you have for her?
Okay, so I just got to say, Felipe, you do everything in 5s now, and it's just a habit you've picked up. I don't know if you're aware of. So it's kind of weird. Number 2, Rashida, I just got to say, really, you have to believe in you first. If you're not confident you're going to get that job, they're going to read it. They're going to know. They can smell it on you. And so you have to be confident in what you're bringing to the team, to the business. And really, that does come down to researching what they're looking for, listening, asking the right questions when you get in there, and knowing what to ask. When I've done career counseling or coaching, right, where I'm helping people negotiate salaries or figure out how this job can transition into the next job, Venn diagramming those 2 positions, right? And like Felipe said, ChatGPT will help you do that. You can say, here's the content of my experience and just the summary of each of your jobs. You don't even have to give the scope of time there unless you just say like 5 years here, 10 years there, whatever it is. Say, but this is the job I would like. How do I make it pop in the cover letter? What are the skill sets that each of these roles have that I might be able to amplify in my messaging? And when you do that, you really start to gain confidence because you're like, wow, okay. I've used the example of a district manager for like a coffee chain being the same as a junior high school teacher. 5 locations is 5 classes, right? If you have 30 students in every class and 30 employees at every location, it's very easy to see the similarities. If your job is to execute what corporate or the district has told you to execute in that space, as long as you can execute a to-do list, you're able to show that. And if you can promote 90% of your team to the next level, or if 100% of your students always graduate in your class, you tell that to a corporation who wants results, you end up doing very well. And so I think it's just doing the research. The other thing, guys, don't apply on these links. I know Lauren Sermon, she's somebody who gives free, great advice on Fridays. Go check her out. She's a recruiter. But she even says, don't apply on the easy apply. Don't go to the website. Go check out the careers page, like Felipe said. But additionally, then go research the people who work for the company. Go make sure that they look legit on LinkedIn, that they have ample followers, that they are engaging in some way. It doesn't have to be every single one, but as long as the company page is years old, there's actual responses to their post of people who look like they could be customers saying, thank you so much for showing up to our event. That's confirmation of engagement. That's reality. If I say, thanks, Felipe, it was great to see you in this town. Felipe and I were in the same spot. He's alive. He's real. Now, as the job posting, I don't know if it is on his company page because somebody might have created a fake one and said it was Felipe hiring. But I know if his LinkedIn is active and he's a LinkedIn top voice, I can message him and say, hey, Felipe, I saw you're hiring. Right. So I think it's strategy too. And that's part of that stress to strategic. How do you cut out the middleman is the way I've always had to work because I can't apply through the front door. The best way to play is to not do it the way that the scammers are trying, right? Figure out what they're doing and do everything around that. Felipe, back to you.
Yeah. And one thing I want to add about with having all the scammers out there and the job posts, there's a lot of people out there that are going to say, oh, I didn't get the job because it wasn't a real job. And there's a lot of negative talk about it. But, Rashida, one thing about you is that when people talk to you, you have a great presence and enthusiasm, and that goes a long way. And so it's just having that confidence and just going out there and learning about the skills, because once you learn them, people are going to recognize that you know what you're talking about. It's when you people try to talk about something that they don't know that they can see through. Um, and I do apologize if my food base five seemed a little bit. Oh, before I forget, thank you, Aaron. Put in there in the comments here for anyone in the U.S. or U.K. or Canada. If you're struggling mental health wise or whatever, call 988 in the U.S. and Canada or 999 in the U.K. Thank you for sharing that, Aaron. That was really important. And
Also, Rashida, I'd be happy to do a coffee chat with you and see if I can help with some strategy if you want for free, just because you came and shared.
That would be lovely, Melissa. Thank you. And just to answer you guys' questions a little bit more, or maybe provide a little more insight, Melissa and Felipe. I do know that it was a legitimate scam because I even reported it to my local news station. They have a it's called NBC 10 Response, and they investigated it. It is indeed a scam. What these people did is they posed as legitimate recruiters of a real bona fide IT company and used pictures of their real employees on their website and used real phone numbers and all this other stuff on their email signatures. They copied the real company, impersonated them. I even had two live interviews with human beings in the Microsoft Teams chat waving hi, and I thought it was legitimate. Come to find out, it was not. They're impersonating a real company. Beware, everyone.
yeah, that's definitely so. You got one of the worst scams there, no doubt, and that's the scam where people will do that. And what the reason they're doing that is because they want to get your new hire paperwork. Because guess what's on your new hire paperwork? Your personal identifiable information. And once you get that
Bingo.
information, they ghost you because they have it all: your social, your birthday, your mother's maiden name. They have everything, and they may have even asked personal questions about, oh, your dog's name and your kids' names. Just to get as much information. What's your favorite
Well,
number?
and Felipe, it's not even that, guys. If you're giving your email and you're using the same email to apply that you do on social, I can go to your Facebook and I can tell you where your family hails from, where the meaning of the origin of your family name is. I can tell you when your grandmother married your grandpa because you told me what your dog's name is. You told me where you went to school because you tagged your alma mater. Somebody mute your mic, please. I don't know who
I
it
got
is.
it. I got it.
Thank you. But those are those things, guys. You have to be strategic. So when you're applying for a job, the very first thing I will tell you is get a email specifically for that purpose. On my LinkedIn, even, I have a business email. I have a lot of personal emails. I created a Connect with Melissa Houston email to display on my LinkedIn that's separate from everything else I use in life. And there's a reason I did that. And so think about that. You can even ask ChatGPT, how do I keep myself safe online? What are some quick tips I can use to protect my identity while I job search? These are great conversations to have with AI. Back to you, Felipe.
All right, so we got 10 minutes left and two guests to go to. So, Rashida, thank you so much for your great insight and for joining us. If you're not following Rashida, check her out. Next up is Habib. Thank you for joining us, Habib. Please share your question or your insight. The mic is yours.
Thank you so much for having me here, Mr. Felipe. If Mr. Sajid Kumar wants to go first, then I'm happy to have him go first.
Well, I mean, you were next in order, so go ahead.
Thank you so much. Well, I don't have much to share, but just want to let you guys know that I really appreciate you for holding this event at the right time because I am very stressed right now and I have my own triggers that really get my anxiety to that level. And what I believe is that there's a limit to how much you can cope and how much you can do for yourself. The human body has its limits, and this is not to say that it is not possible for you to overcome some of the things that you are going with or the things that you're struggling with, but taking the help and having the help that is accessible to you, you should definitely not ignore the opportunities. I would be taking that help too if it were in my affordability, but unfortunately it isn't. That's why I struggle a lot these days. But what I do is I just practice mindfulness, which I really love, trying to keep myself in the moment, trying to stay present. And whenever the past memories, whenever the traumas, they start to haunt me and debilitate me, I just remind myself that being in the present, being grounded, is much better than trying to dwell on what had happened. And this is not to invalidate what happened, but this is just to be grateful and enjoy the moment. And sometimes it helps, sometimes it doesn't, because, like I say, having the help that is not accessible or affordable for me right now, if it were, I would have definitely taken it, and it would definitely have benefited me a lot. But what I can do for myself, I have to do for myself. And that is what I would suggest for everyone, to not suffer in silence. Whatever you can do, whatever works for you, everyone is unique. Everyone have their own coping methods and their own strategies. Just try to explore it, try to find yourself in it, and try to do what works best for you. Thank you for listening to me, and stay safe and stay happy.
Habib, thank you so much for coming up and sharing that. That was, first of all, very vulnerable of you, and I appreciate that because a lot of people probably needed to hear what you shared because obviously you're dealing with a lot as you shared, and I'm sorry that you're struggling, but it sounds like you are handling it as best as you can, which I applaud you for. And the most powerful thing I think you said was towards the end is don't suffer in silence. And I applaud you for saying that because getting that help and I'm so you demonstrated so many wonderful things. You showed how it wasn't affordable for certain help that you need that you would benefit you, but you didn't stop there. You found other things like doing some meditation and breathing and mindfulness, and that is such a huge thing. And to find joy in that is even better. So I just wanted to applaud you for just demonstrating that you can still do things to get yourself feeling better and living in the present, even though you may not be able to afford some of the things or have access to some of the things others have. There's always free options out there, and there's hopefully people out there willing to help. So thank you so much for sharing that first and foremost. Melissa, do you want to share your thoughts and then introduce Shajith after that?
Yeah, no, definitely appreciate you coming to the stage. And it's hard to be vulnerable online, but I think in doing so, we open up a ton of opportunity for others to do the same. And so I hope that inspires somebody else if they're struggling to raise their hand and say it. And then the other thing is, guys, a lot of the stuff we hear online, like these rooms, these are paid sessions if you book one-on-one with Felipe or I, right? Like the tips we're giving, we would do to coaching clients, we'd walk them through them. But these free events where you can come together with each other and ask for help and do the things, those are always available. The fact that Aaron's dropping in the helpline, right? That's free. That's there. There are resources. There are a ton. And honestly, a lot of you guys with your health insurance, you might not be able to pay a copay. And in your brain, you're like, I can't go because copays. There are some who include free visits. You get so many included per year, right? Felipe, how many of those have you facilitated in your career time? Yep, 3 to 5, right? And I think the same even in the retail environment and I'm working in, we get some free healthcare and then we'd have to pay beyond that. But definitely stop and assess your situation, right? Think if you feel like you're alone on an island, deserted, which is sometimes how I can get when I get in my head, right? I've been there. Depression hits everybody at times. If I feel isolated, if I've been down, I've been laid off, I've been my house burned down in a fire and we didn't have anywhere to go for a minute. I've been through a lot. But reality was every time I pull my Jason Bourne out and I'm like, okay, what do I have in my pockets? What can I use? What is my Swiss Army knife of skill sets that I can activate in this moment? And by stopping and reminding myself, you've overcome all of the things I just listed. What is a flat tire? It's nothing, right? What is breaking down? What is losing one job when you've left or quit or been let go or laid off of others and successfully figured it out to get to this space? So give yourself credit for the things you've accomplished too. I think that's part of it. And then reach out for help. And Habib, I would be happy to talk to you for 15 minutes also if you wanted to do a coffee chat. Sajith, welcome to the stage.
Thank you, Melissa. Thank you, Felipe. Another great Sunday, another great topic too. So I was just thinking I'll not come on stage, and then Aaron posted this music tames the savage beast, and then I just wanted to share. I just wanted to share something that is happening, right? So I have a group of friends. So this is my grade 10th, my 10th batch. We stayed in touch for the last 35 odd years. We started off with Yahoo groups, and then we are currently in a WhatsApp group. So it's around 35, 40 people in the group. Now, we don't discuss politics, we don't discuss personal challenges, we don't discuss anything apart from what nostalgic memories we had during that early childhood, where we seem to enjoy a lot, right? The objective, or just because this topic is something related to mental health. So one of my friend recently posted a picture of old cassettes and the kind of songs that people would customize and record while they were going on trips, right? And then a lot of conversations on, hey, I used to have similar kind of songs based on singers, based on genre, like you would like romantic songs, you would like hip hop songs. So the whole conversation started on memories that we used to have for a very long time, and we might have not and we take things, a lot of things, for granted, right? The topic that you also brought up today is, Felipe shared a lot of great, even Melissa, you shared on a lot of things, having pets and all those things. But sometimes uh, having someone to revisit the happy times in your life, be it spouse, friends, or people who are happy for you at during that point in time, right? That I think brings out all those nice memories, and then you tend to push some of those harsh realities under the rug. But I think it's sometimes it's good to be in the happy spot. So just my thoughts, and thank you for bringing this wonderful topic on a Sunday morning. Thank you.
Sajiva, I love that so much. And I got to tell you, he's hitting on a note that I've also stumbled on in my life. I went to social media, of course, Facebook, and I was like, hey guys, I'm thinking about this one security guard we had in junior high who really gave me a little bit of grace in a time where I probably didn't deserve it, but I needed it and I got it. I had 1,400 comments in 24 hours on a post on Facebook. I was like, oh no, I know what happens next. And so I took that post and I made it a group out of it. And we have a couple thousand members now, but it's all the people that went to Mesa Public Schools where I went to school, right? And it's just nostalgia. That's all it is. It's our school photos. It's our class trip photos. It's, hey, remember when I took this in the lunchroom? And it's so great just to tap in, and we share those TikToks and reels that we find that are like fun music memories. I just shared one that it was like this guy who definitely is maybe a little a grandpa man, not as cool as he thinks he's looking, but it's like when we show our kids songs we used to jam out to, and he's just dancing really offbeat to a song I was playing in junior high. And so I shared it to the group and we laugh. And it's not anything more than let us stop, pause, and giggle with our friends for a minute between classes or agenda or whatever it is these days, right? So I love that so much, Siji. Thank you for sharing, Felipe.
Yeah, so just thank you. You always share such powerful, meaningful shares, and if you're not following Sajith, you're missing out. He is a top voice as well. He's a great guy. He's somebody who is always just amazing thought leader, and I've always appreciated your support, but also your insights. You always have such wonderful insights and examples. So we are wrapping up here. I do have family that are waiting for me to go out, that family that are in town, go out for lunch before they leave tomorrow. But I just want to thank everyone who has been hanging out in the comments. It was great to see Mac Laupsher in the room. He's the head of our Social Saturday chat crew. If you're interested in seeing some of that, it's every Saturday at 12 noon. And it's always great to see Aaron supporting Felipe's 5, which, by the way, I gotta say, I did recognize when I was giving out the first thing was 5 things, but the next one was only 4 technically. And so, but yeah, I have noticed that I tend to lean towards.
But then Rashida got 5 tips from you, so you're just playing tennis.
My mantra thing started off with 4, and I added tenacity as a 5th one later on. So that was just coincidence. But yes, I am.
Hey, no, I mean you moved to a 5. There's a pattern there, Felipe. Run with it. Be excited. It's fine.
It's just a little weird, though. It's a little weird.
At least we own our weirdness. Listen, can I also just say, guys, today Jackie and I are live for Emotional Women, so don't miss that. And then we'll be live again on Saturday. Felipe, what are we going to do as a next topic? Did anybody recommend something?
I did see, but we had so many other. why is Miros asking who else recommends cassette mixtapes? Oh my God, I haven't
Oh,
done.
I do. I remember them. And
I remember
actually,
them too. Oh my God.
Felipe, when I listen to Boys to Men on Bended Knee, at the end of the song, I'm still expecting the DJ to come in and go, God, what a song. And it never happens, but it was on my recording because I didn't pause it in time after I hit record. And so in my brain, it's still part of the song because I listened to that version so many times in life. So
Okay,
yeah,
I'm gonna risk pissing off my family and give Queen Lafitte here. I'm gonna give you 60 seconds. Okay, 60 seconds is what you get, Christine. Okay, go.
Oh, I didn't think it was going to happen, but just a shout out to Chat GPT because I do a newsletter every week for my company, and it was taking me like 2 hours, and I just said, what's the format I could use? What can I, these are the things I usually hit on, and yeah, it's made a difference. I'm done.
Love it, love it.
I love it.
You
Thank you for coming.
All right, thanks.
I didn't see you in the green room until I went to put everyone back there. So sorry I missed you there. But thank you for coming up and sharing that. If you all missed our ChatGPT show last week or 2 weeks ago, we did a great demo. Melissa and I sharing our screens on how to use ChatGPT if you haven't gotten into the groove yet. So check out our last episode. So Christine, thank you for coming out. Appreciate that. All right, I'll put you back there carefully. All right. So Houston, yeah, I don't see any other topics, but if you all have topics for us to cover, or if you want us to continue this topic about stress and dive deeper, let us know. As far as what I have coming up, I mentioned Social Saturday Chat on Saturdays. And then I have on a week from this Monday, the next Workplace Wellness Hour on Monday at 8 p.m. with Sumana Jetty and Ashley Fluellen. So join me for that if you'd like. But other than that, Houston, what do you have planned? Anything else coming up?
I do. I'm like I said, Emotional Women, guys, we have a big announcement, like the biggest announcement we've had to date. So you should come. Also, it looks like they're catching up in the comment section, and there's a few options here. We have emotional support, which could be an option, but Jackie says her topic is for picking social media for various reasons. What works best on each platform versus what we should avoid.
All right, I like that. That's an interesting topic. Okay.
I like the social media approaches. We definitely live on LinkedIn, but we broadcast to other places. And guys, go follow the YouTube channel. He didn't tell you yet, but you should.
Oh yeah. Okay, hold on. Real quick.
Hey, gentle reminder. But guys, seriously, a lot of us live on other platforms, and we do different things on different platforms. What you see on LinkedIn isn't always copy pasted over to Facebook and vice versa, right? We live different lives in different places, different spaces. Instagram is like Vacation Nation. I didn't mean to rhyme, but you're welcome.
Well, follow our YouTube channel. There's
let's
a
do
QR
it.
code. Scan that, and then here's my QR code from my YouTube station. This is where we house all the past shows. So Melissa's old shows are on hers, mine are on mine. Check them out. It's a way to see some of the past ones, like the Chat GPT, whatever I mentioned. You don't have to scroll back through our LinkedIn to find it. Here's a quick place to go. All right. With that being said, I love some of the topic suggestions. So is the surprise on Emotional Women that you're going to invite an emotional men? Because I'll volunteer. I can be emotional.
We know this, Felipe. We know. No, honestly, I don't know if you've missed it, but the Emotional Women has really just been the marketing ploy. And we said that in our opening, right? Like, yes, we've been called Emotional Women, and that's kind of where the premise came from. But the reality is humans are emotional, and we're taking the you out of the Emotional Women because it's an opener. But humans have emotions, so everybody should come. But the announcement is not that. It's huge. You're going to be jealous. I know you'll be jealous, actually, and I'm trying not to rub it in. Also, did Aaron, did you see what Aaron just said? Did you see? Is it art? Did we both forget? Are we terrible partners?
Oh, is it 2 years?
Is it?
Has it been 2? Is there a 2 year?
Check your on this day. See if it's been. I don't know.
I'll have to check. Well, you know what? We'll have to do a post about it. So before my family starts yelling at me, I'm going to go.
No, let's make your family yell at you. No, I'm kidding. Tell your family we said hi and thank you for sharing.
Out of town.
Tell them thank you for sharing and tell Michelle I said hi.
I will. And thank you all so much for coming and joining us. We appreciate all of you all in the chat for just engaging. Thank you to Rashida and Habib and to Sajid for joining us on stage. And we hope that you continue. If you're not following us or connected with us, please do. And to let us know that you heard us on Careers, Chaos, and Coaching. and you love to connect, and we'll connect with you. Other than that, stay safe, stay confident, stay curious, be grateful, be compassionate and tenacious. See you in
And
2
put
weeks.
some glitter on it, guys.
See you in 2 weeks, you all.
Welcome to the show, it's your career crew. Melissa, Philip, bringing wisdom to you. We've been there, done that, now it's our turn to share what we've learned so you can take your turn. We're navigating pathways, turning